Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Competitive Speed Series, or SCC as I keep calling it, but it is meant to be CSS. And I'm joined by the incredible Ollie yet again this week. Ollie, welcome along. Hope you're doing well. 3 weeks now in to the CSS series. Finding your feet a little bit now?
I think so. I'm still getting confused by the teams. I will eventually get it by the end of the series, hopefully. I need a little table for myself, an Ollie table, to try and figure out who is who. But Gareth, I can't complain. I really can't. It's been non-stop throughout this season. For the races I've seen, you can't call a winner. It's one different every week. It's great to watch, isn't it? No complaints at the moment.
Definitely none. Let's get the calendar out of the way. We don't want the calendar. Let's look at the standings, because last week BRT on track took victory. However, Stewards' inquiries moved them down to 5th place, which means AMS took victory, and that's thrown them up into P7 overall. But TTM still lead the way, but it's 7 points. BRT is in there 10 points further from Team Shizou, and Team Shizou are doing a very, very solid job. I must say right now, just keeping up with the early favourites of this series. But it's so tight at those top three, super tight.
Yeah, we mentioned it last week, didn't we? There was 5 or 6 teams that were still up the top, and you could argue that gap has broken a little bit. Top 3, TTM, Shizou, and BRT are almost broken away a little bit, Gareth, and then you drop down to News Racing and CRE fighting for P4 and P5. So, but as we've seen, points under 15th in this league, and how things can change so quickly. We saw in Azerbaijan how things quickly changed during that race, not only the conditions, but in the racing itself. So, yeah, this is round 5, but at the end of this race, it could be a completely different story.
Definitely, there's so much action to have, and well, the cars are on track, so I think it would be prudent for us to move over and have a look at one of the first drivers to take a lap time, and that is FRT Sam through this. And while there may be some driver names that we're not fully aware of, or changes or part of their teams, because there's multiple drivers in a team, let's remind ourselves of the teams and which cars they are in. The V-Carb, we've got the FRT team. Funnily enough, FRT Sam is driving, and he's on the screen at this moment in time. McLaren, we see NVR, and in the Williams, we've got the TTM. Shizou are driving in the Red Bull, with FGE in the Mercedes. Sauber are driven by the BRT team. TIE are in the Aston Martins, and one of the Aston Martins does have a qualifying ban for this one. XPG are in the Ferrari. Alpine are the CRE team, and AMS are in the Haas. And just as another one, FGE also have a qualifying ban through this as well. But around this banker of a right-hander, 13 and 14, where the DRS opens super early on the banker, heading down the straight now, and here is FRT. He's unable to challenge Siri Hops' initial time. Liam Bowman only managing 109.995 to start things off.
Yeah, guys getting their laps in early on. They're trying to get some space in the circuit. It is a small circuit, Gareth. I know it's not obviously a Monaco or an Austria, but it is tight and twisty. Not much space around on the circuit. So is it trying to find the space where you can? And obviously Sam and Hops getting their laps in very early on, as most of the drivers are trying to get at least one banker lap in early doors, just the 108.5 at the moment. I don't know how the PC and the PS4 side did last 2 nights, whether they dipped in the 7s at all.
This is something I haven't checked this week. I've been pretty poor on my history for the Zandvoort Grand Prix of CSS of recent week of the recent races on either Sunday or Friday night. But I'm sure they're going to be probably from early doors, probably the late 107s, if the way things have stood so far this season. I mean, multiple, probably 4 laps these guys will, or 4 racing laps, as I've just seen CRE Rapids on his lap. Absolutely, well, I say absolutely, he tank slap it as he enters turn 9. And I think that means his lap is done and dusted. And he's going to throw himself into the pits for this one. But yeah, you mentioned quite a short track here. Definitely lots of... or a lack of overtaking opportunities into other than turn 1 and turn 11, but an increase of possible penalties.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've seen it plenty of times, haven't we? We saw a Kota last week, didn't we? There was quite a few errors from the drivers. I mean, cutting wise, it's more the sector 2, isn't it, where there are opportunities to cut corners at 9. As well as 11 and 12, you can hop that curve too much on the inside of 11, and that'll cost you. So there are a few places that can cause drivers some mistakes, and we've seen it in the past. But like I said, there aren't that many overtaking opportunities. Obviously, turn 1 is the main opportunity. We have seen side-by-side action between 3 and 7, but it more than likely will end in tears, as we've seen in the past, with people stricken in the gravel trap on the left side coming around 7. The odd move into 11, if you can get a good run out of 10, again, it's going to be difficult, Gareth. Pit stops are going to be really important here, and then obviously working with the teammate, not double stacking, and safety cars are almost a given here, aren't they? So a lot of things the drivers are going to have to factor in when it comes to the race strategy this evening.
We're going to see teams are going to need to see Lando and Piastri style like teammating, I guess, through this track, as we see CRE Rapids finally going to make his lap here after having to do a second installation lap. He does throw it up into 3rd, which isn't a bad time for him. Is it Bobbitt's next on a lap, or is it? It could actually very well be the CRE second drive. Oh, I say second driver, who's currently top of the timing screens. Just a few names to go through. Tech 2, Tech to Debs, I guess, is BRT Thomas, and VKZOKS is XPG Ched. So it might be better for us to call them by those names, because saying VK20 something or other is going to maybe cause us a small aneurysm through the race, especially if things start heating up. But first set of qualifying laps done and dusted, and I may have been ambitious in my saying that they're going to try and push 4 laps of qualifying here, or 4 1-lap pushing, I should say, as they're seemingly taking a little bit longer to get around the tracks than I thought they would. But here comes Sia, who he hops around the final corner and straight into the pit lane.
Yeah, weird. He was quickest in sector 2 there, so I'm not sure. Obviously, there was some sort of mistake from him on that lap. I was glancing at the track map while also looking at Hop, so obviously something we've missed there, unfortunately. But currently still sitting in P1, but again, still 10 minutes left in the session, guys. Plenty of time to the other drivers to get laps in. You know, they can get a couple in really in this in the early part of this qualifying session. Just on board with Gabor as he comes around the final corner, banked. I think it is the most banked corner on the calendar, Gareth. Am I right in thinking? And the only other one I can think of is turn 7 at Saudi Arabia, maybe, or was it turn 3's more banked? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, there's not many banking in F1, but we do have 2 banked corners here at the Dutch Grand Prix. Turn 3 and turn 14. Though it does kind of feel turn 14 is less banked than it once was, or it could just be me, as Tex there has managed to invalidate through turn, I think that was turn 7 there. He just completely went offline. Simbarox 1 has invalidated. Bobbits, are you going to do something special for me? Through turn 4 now he comes, and let's see. It's just a nice little tweak of the steering wheel from turn 3 into turn 7. You're going so fast paced. Those tweaks have to be perfect, but it's not much of a movement.
Yeah, it's not, isn't it? Between obviously those couple of corners, you want to obviously can't straight line it, can you? But you want to limit the movement to get as much power down, aren't you? Especially coming out of that bank turn 3. And that is an overtaken opportunity. We have seen side-by-side action through there. See if you can nail the exit, put your foot down, trying to escape the guy behind you, potentially hounding you down. That's something the guys are going to have to consider coming through. And that is a great flow of section, Gareth. And if the camera's right, it looks amazing on stream. So hopefully, Codemasters gives us some nice angles, helicopter shots as well, as guys flow through that end of Sector 1.
Let's have a look at BRT Crowding's lap then. Unfortunate demotion from 1st to 5th after Stewart's inquiry last time out at the Circuit of the Americas, which was an insane Grand Prix to watch. Drivers left everything on the circuit, and let's definitely go and give it a watch later on. Let's see what Crowding can do though through. See if he can have a redemption arc here in Zandvoort. Yeah,
hopefully. Sorry, Gareth, I'm on the board with the wrong driver there. Who did you mention there? Apologies.
BRT Crowding down currently in 12th place.
There he is. Yeah, we've mentioned Crowding quite a bit in this last couple of streams. Obviously, a man who was involved in Azerbaijan quite a bit, wasn't he? Near the front of the good, he hops a curb over 11 fastest in that middle sector. He's got 2 corners remaining on the lap. Sharp right-hander here, doesn't want to go too wide and over the curb. Oh, on the back end, steps out a wheel onto the grass, down the wheel on the inside as well. I think that's lap over, and then with commentator's curve strikes again, Gareth. I should have even asked for who you were on board with, really.
Let's move on to MVR Gabor then, as he comes through into turn 11 now. DRS was open, now closed. He's 2.5 tenths up on his lap time. Around turn 12 now, which is a long left-hander. More like a hairpin, just not as tight. But this one is not... Well, Gabor's entry into 13 and 14, a lot smoother than Crowding's just before. And Gabor across the line. It is provisional pole by 0.3 of a second. That is a wonderful lap time from the NVR man.
Yeah, great lap time there. Just connected his lap well there, Gareth. And you can see he was just precise, hopping over the curb to that last sector. And even shows, 0.3 quicker as well. I think Sam has just brought that down there. Now there's only 2 tenths between first and second. But Gabor setting the early pace here. Sam right on his tail as well. And there's still 5 minutes left of the session.
Still plenty of action. I think AMS Knight could very well be finishing a lap time soon or later. Let's see what he can do. Just hops a little bit wide off the exit there and invalidates, which is not ideal. He doesn't have a front wing either, which is not ideal. Paulos, are you on a lap? Yeah, Paulos is, but I think maybe BRT Thomas is on a lap as well, and he's way down on his lap time, so he's probably done and dusted. So let's go back on to TIR Paulos and see what the man in the Aston Martin car can do as he heads into turn 13 and 14. This banked right-hander, which we're going to talk a lot about in this race. Looking all right at the moment for Paulos. No, it's not. He's going into the pits.
Yeah, you can see him coming around 8.13. Gareth, he was all over the shop, and that's cost him some time. And that's him restarting and back into the pits. Did a bit of research, Gareth, just while you were talking. Zandvoort has got 18 degrees of banking. Any guesses where's got higher, or what has the highest degree of banking on?
Is it turn 3? Is it turn 3?
Oh no, I meant worldwide.
Oh, worldwide. Oh, Monza.
No, they're still in use. Sorry.
No idea.
I'll give you a clue. It's in America. Maybe the chat can have a guess as well, without googling, of course, because that would be cheating.
Is it in use in F1?
It is not. No.
Is it a Daytona?
The car NASCAR do race there, but it's not Daytona.
Okay, put me out of my misery.
It is Talladega.
Okay.
34 degrees of banking. Talladega.
That's an awful lot of banking there compared
I'd love to see F1 cars try and do that. Be quite a feat, wouldn't it? Anyways, back to. Oh, we're not talking about cars going in circles here. Cars going left and right.
Simba Rocks 1 throws himself into 6th place provisionally as we've got 3.5 minutes left of the session remaining. The fake TP is now into 7th place as well. This is interesting. Alpines, I say the Alpines, I should really use the team names here. So, yeah, the CRE up there in NVR, FRT, TTM are all in with a great chance. And you can't really count out Red Bull because they're up in 7th as well. I say Red Bull, sorry, Shazoo. There's a lot of decent teams, not necessarily together, but separated quite well.
Yeah, it shows how close the league is, isn't it? When even though they're in different teams, they're all so close together, and the teammates aren't. Obviously, NVR are the top team there. You could argue with Gabor in 1st and Liam Bowman, in 4th. Yeah, but there's a Florida car coming out of the pits now, guys. So this could all turn on its head in an instant, couldn't it? With 2 minutes 20 after the session, I think the guys are going to try and get one more flying lap in and try and improve on their current standings. Because Zandvoort, it is difficult, as we mentioned, to overtake at the circuit. But qualifying is important. I mean, it's important in every race, of course, but ever slightly more important. Obviously, not Monaco level or maybe Singapore level, but it's still important nonetheless at the circuit.
Yeah, track position is always. It's always. I mean, even in tracks where you can overtake, track position is key because you can cause so much of a headache to some drivers to get through. But let's see, Rapids up by half a tenth of a second on his lap time. It's not going to be enough to challenge anyone up above him in the top 8 unless he can really push on through turn 13 and 14. He's opened that back the DRS. The wing is wide open. He's hugging to the line as best as possible, and he does. He is improved, but just not enough.
No, and he's slowed down in his lap as well, so I think this is qualifying over for Rapids, and he'll start the best of 9th place in this qualifying here at Zandvoort.
See, I think maybe TTM Placky, possibly TTM Furious, just a few up ahead. Well, actually, just up ahead on the track are the next 2 to set lap times. Maybe FRT Sam is through that as well, but a tenth of a second up is Placky. That's enough, surprisingly, to throw him into the top 3 fight at the moment. As long as he can continue pulling. Oh, that's a little bit of a mistake into 13. Through 14 now. Has he lost all that momentum, all that time he gained through the rest of the lap across the line for Placky? It is indeed cost him big time. Bourbon Boy then around the final corner. I think he's just about to start a lap time because he's 4 seconds down on his last 7 seconds down. So that's not ideal. Who next to go on board with? Maybe it is time for Gabbo. I think there's a few other drivers as well. So times are going to come thick and fast. 11 seconds, 9. Well, my goodness, poor Gabbo has massively made a mistake through turn 9. And I wonder if that was caused by a driver going offline. Yellow flag for someone. Is CRE hops on a lap time? He is, but I think, again, has made a mistake through that and has started to harvest.
Yeah, there's a few drivers are making mistakes. The pressure's getting to them. It looks like Liam is on a lap. They're coming through the last sector, but he's slow. He's a 10th down on his lap, so maybe no improvements for him. It's so difficult to try and find people on laps, Gareth. Arunca coming towards the line as well, down in 16th. Up to 11th for him.
Something, and the Mercedes has got no front wing. Maybe BRT Crowding is going to do something. He's a little bit up on his lap time, but not that much. BRT Thomas, also his teammate, is on a lap time. Let's see. After that, BRT Crowding just goes ahead of his teammate. Thomas goes into the pits. He's done and dusted. Fake TP. Are you on a lap? He's agonisingly down on his lap time, so he might very well put a time in as he goes round the final 2 corners now. It's looking very slow and tentative through there, so I don't think there's anything through that. So that means surely, well, Bourbon Boy's done and dusted as well. Paulos, are you going slowly as well? That's qualifying over and done with. A little bit of a simper in the end.
The shootouts, as we've seen in the past, past. Unfortunately, drivers make mistakes, costing them time. Yeah, no changes late on, unfortunately, there for our lineup. But still, nonetheless, very close qualifying. I think someone got within a tenth of good ball. I wasn't sure. I can't remember, but we'll see in a few seconds' time. Oh, that's what less than a tenth. I take that back.
Yeah, it's quite close. 2/10 really between first and fifth. Gabble even making a mistake on his final run, able to hold on to pole for the time being. Then it's Hops, Bowman, Furious, the FRT and the two FRT drivers, FRT Sam and Simba Roxwan, Fake TP, Placky, Rapids and Crowding rounding out the top 10. Then it's Thomas, Arunka, Bourbon Boy, Bobbits, Dom, Paulos, VK, and a few other drivers there who were qualifying banned or just weren't able to make a lap time, which is quite mental when you think about it. But also, with a track like this, it's kind of understandable as well.
Yeah, it's a difficult track. I mean, people sometimes don't consider it a difficult track, but it's non-stop, isn't it? It's just turn after turn. They don't really get a break, do you? Unless, well, apart from the last corner to the first corner, that's the only break you really get on the lap. So it is quite intense. Not as intense as Monaco or maybe Austria. Well, the circuits are really intense, that are non-stop.
You can throw Singapore in that, even on the straights. You're.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, there's a few out there that are a bit more difficult, aren't they? So, as obviously with resetting the lobby here. Yeah, no, it's. I'm just quite curious how this race is going to pan out. With obviously weather, it's cloudy at the moment, obviously in this pretty warm up race bit, but Zandvoort is known for rain at times, Gareth. It is Holland, depending on what time the race is, but it's something else to consider. And safety cars, we're not talking about that just yet. Penalties, another thing. There's so much, so many different things that could crop up in this race. So we'll have to wait and see.
Definitely plenty of external factors for these guys to worry about, and it's dynamic in the race as well. So while it was cloudy there, you never know, when we come back into the lobby, it could be absolutely persisting it down with rain, or it could be clear sunshine. You never know. And sometimes when it is clear sunshine, you're opening yourself up to more of a chance to a safety car, because you're thinking you can push that little bit harder at certain corners, and then you open yourselves up to mistakes. But then we've also got the likes of when it's raining and really persisting it down, that you actually find some of the cleanest racing because people are that little bit extra careful. Sometimes, I'd like to say hopefully most of the times, some drivers will just send it up the inside, Daniel Ricciardo-esque, and things go a bit mental. But while we wait for the lobby to set up, for those of you in the chat, let us know who you think is going to take victory for this one. CRE and TTM were the two drivers for two teams about who's going to finish higher. CRE eventually did go that little bit higher, but as a team and a driver aspect, Ollie, who do you think is going to take pole tonight? Take the win tonight, not pole, because we've seen that bit.
I think looking at the start, I think Shazoo might get it. Yeah, I think. No, sorry, not Shazoo. Sorry, take that back. Sorry, Shazoo. No, I do like you as a team, but I think NVR are going to get it. We've seen how well Gabor's been racing the season, Gareth, and I think it's going to be another one for him. Liam in third as well. If they can keep, if they have a bit of a McLaren lockout at the front, they can run away with it. But I don't want to count my chickens just yet.
Well, and this is the other thing about it. NVR, Liam is such a solid racer. He's only had one opportunity this season. I believe that was the first round at Silverstone, and it just didn't work for him. It didn't work out. But he's such a good racer. He's been in title fights in various different leagues, and the big one behind me, he nearly won the console tier 1. So he's not a bad driver by any shape of the imagination. It's just maybe he needs a little bit of a not a helping hand, but an arm over from the MVR team to just gee him in the right direction. But they're both going to start on the same side of the grid, aren't they? On that, the left-hand side of the grid. And possibly Gabor could fly over to the right-hand side, box in CRE Hops and allow Liam Bowman to take the lead just so they can work as a team.
Yeah, and especially on lap 1. I know the cars are close together, but it's so frantic, isn't it, on that first lap of any race, especially this one. So if Gabor can help his teammate out and allow him to go maybe around the outside and take second, that'll be sorted. Not that we're team strategists at all, Gareth. We're commentators, so don't listen to a word. We're saying NVR if you are listening. But, we could have another drivers trying to give their strategy away maybe. But it's going to be a tricky one on the start. We have seen carnage in the past. Hopefully we don't this evening. Yeah, just looking forward to it all kicking off now. Just want to get involved and get this race underway.
Just waiting on one. I think one of the AMS drivers had an issue with their Xbox, and they're just rejoining the session now. Anyway, and we'll be going very, very shortly. Some incredible action to be had, but for just a moment, we're going to see what our sponsors has to say.
You're muted.
Thank you, Ace. Thank you. Thankfully, everyone else, no one else could hear me other than Ollie. You got my voice just perfectly there. So as I was saying, crucially, next week is a break week, but it's the end of the first half of the season, and setting yourself up to go into that mid-season break with a not a healthy lead, but a bit of momentum can help massively.
It's a weird one, isn't it? It's almost a double-edged sword, isn't it? Those drivers can do well tonight, gives them confidence. Maybe they can relax a little bit going into next, obviously, in 2 weeks' time. But then for those who don't do well, it goes, okay, I've got kind of a week off. I can get my head down, I can practice, and I can smash round 6 when we come back in 2 weeks' time. So it's a difficult one. It's a balance, isn't it? If you do well tonight, maybe you can ease off a little bit and then go again, or gives you opportunity to practice and get back involved. But regardless of if you can, if you do well tonight, that's going to give you a huge boost, an encouragement going into round 6 in 2 weeks' time, Gareth. It depends how you take it. It really does, and people take it different ways, don't they? And if you're going to win, that's the ideal, isn't it? Really, but we'll have to wait and see who does that this evening. But yeah, I think it would be nice to have a little bit of a break on for the drivers. How intense this league is and how cutthroat it is as well. It would be nice to have that fallow week and then go back to racing again in 2 weeks.
Definitely, and also you've got that kind of some of these drivers. Maybe it will affect Shazoo. They've had such a solid run of results that they need that momentum to keep on going, and then we might see them struggle a little bit. It's a double. Sometimes it can end up being a double-edged sword. We see it quite often in real F1 sometimes the driver who's doing well into the summer break struggles a couple of races afterwards, unless last season, like you're a Red Bull in that Red Bull. But anyway, we will be going very, very shortly, and let us know who you think is going to take victory tonight. We've got MVR as a possible victory from your side of the box. Ollie, I think you can never count out TTM. I think even with them starting a bit lower down, or BRT, both sets of teams there, a good standard through it all. Let's have another just look at the standings after the Mystery Grand Prix in the Circuit of the Americas. TTM Esports managed. Well, they managed to get, I think, gain by 2 or 3 points from Team Shazoo in the end, but it's not an ideal situation for them right now. They need a couple of good point scores, don't they?
Yeah. It's especially with how short the season is. Getting points early doors, and especially if they can get a good haul of points tonight, going into the break week, that'll give them a huge boost of confidence going into round 6 after our break. So. It's quite crucial, really, to give the team a bit of confidence.
And we are on track, nearly ready. Hello, I've lost Ollie.
Sorry, I thought you were going straight to the race. It is, Gareth, the weather once again has surprised us.
The weather has surprised us indeed. A few drops of rain, maybe a few more than a few, here in Zandvoort tonight, which is going to change all the strategies yet again. I think it's only going to be inters. Are we going to see dries later on in the race? It doesn't seem to be heavily raining. There doesn't seem to be puddles in the pit lane, but you can never tell.
I have to say, Gav, the NPCs are absolutely loving the fact that it's raining. They're doing some sort of rain dance on top of the pits, aren't they? You can see them all having a whale of a time. I love to. Yeah, I was excited about rain, but all the drivers aren't feeling that way in their cockpits.
Yeah, let's. I don't think FGE are pretty happy with it. Just looking in the chat, I'm looking up there, so looking at my second screen or one of my screens. It's not looking. Some of these. You know what? I think it's just going to add extra spice to this race, and I mean I've backed TTM to a degree. I'm not saying that's going to change, but you know what? It could end. It's now opened the door even wider for it to be anyone's. AMS have a chance. FGE obviously with their comments saying that they don't want the rain, but anyone really. Can we see a surprise one from TIE even, or even return from Shazoo? They've not exactly had the best of qualifyings in comparison, but they can do anything from anywhere on the grid.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's FGE, XPG, and TIE who need the points. They're not in triple digits yet, while everyone else is. So those three teams really get a move on now before the break week. But Shazoo have done well in the past. This rain could help them. The thing is, guys, I mean, when I used to race back in the day, and when I used to commentate over me at times, I never practiced in the rain as much. You always anticipate it being dry most of the time. So there is less practice in the rain. So that's something drivers are going to be maybe slightly more worried about in this race. So it's something that they've got to consider and be cautious about. Braking distance increases, spray strategy, and well, there we go. We're going to get racing.
We are going to get racing indeed. We're on 5 lights here, and away we go in Zandvoort, and down into turn 1 goes Gabble, and already Liam Bowman's had a great start. I don't think Hops has had a good start because Furious has gone up the inside of Liam Bowman as they head round turn 1. and Liam Bowman might have been picked off by the fast-starting Williams as they head on through and continue battling away. Liam Bowman somehow managing to hold the inside line. In the background, FT Sam and Simrox battling away with the fake TP, as I think Liam Bowman's held out, and MVR did what they needed to do to lead this Grand Prix, but with both of their drivers just behind the fake TP, and Simrox still battling away.
Yeah, side-by-side action between them, both millimetres in between them as they come round turn 7 towards 8 and 9, and just about the fake TP stays ahead for now, doesn't make a move on the inside sim. Oh, and there's a mistake from the fake TP, loses the back end slightly, Gareth, and that's him down to P8 now. He's just played to Rapids as well.
Just behind TT and Placky, and Thomas trying to battle free. Thomas is going up the inside of Placky, but surely that's not ideal. Turn 11 in this damp condition. Now, is that BRT Crowden getting involved as well? And Bobbitt's just behind. Fake TP not having the best of starts to this one, as Bobbitt's trying to find a way through. Thomas, as they head down the start and finish straight for the second time to the inside line, goes Bobbitt's. Is he going to hang it up the inside? He is. He's going to push Thomas to the max, but I think Thomas is going to have the inside for turn 3.
Yeah, he does, and Bobbitt dips back into the slipstream there. Watch out for Dom in the background. Doesn't have the momentum there to get round, and Bobbitt takes the pass line around the outside, and that's him staying in P12. But frantic action on lap 1, as you can imagine, Gareth. The two halves of Arunca and 9th fighting in the background, 16th and 17th as well. There's non-stop action in this race. Crowden trying to get past Blackie as well after his mistakes earlier in the race. Just getting involved with contact, Gareth. As again, Bobbitt's trying to go up the inside of Tech. It's just non-stop. There's someone in the gravel trap, Gareth. I think that's fake.
Oh, not again. It seems like the same point 2 laps in a row. It's like my F1 manager save. He's gone off at the same point. It's not ideal for him, as he's now down to 14th place in Shizou. Rather frustrated with this one. MVR Gavel has already built a second lead to his teammate as they head round the banking area. It seems very much like 2x2 in a lot of these areas right now, as we will go on board, I think, with the BRT drivers, because it looked like Thomas was getting very close to crowding, but he was just backing off a little bit as TTM Placky is dropping away from CRE Rapids.
Yeah, 1.1 splitting 7th and 8th at the moment. The FRT team breaking away, trying to catch up with CRE and TTM of Furious and Hopkins 3rd and 4th. They're trying to break away with front row, but Placky needs to go and break that second gap, and otherwise he's just not going to get a chance, and he's getting a lot of understeer coming through this corner. He needs to get that under control, otherwise he's going to struggle as he comes through 8 and towards 9 here. Crowding not too close by. He is there, obviously, but not to in a position to make a move. And there's moving in the background, actually. Bobbitt's up the inside. There are 3 abreast coming into turn number 10 there. Gareth, it's great racing, and that is Bourbon Boy getting involved. We've not mentioned him at all this race, but great racing in the background there. He moved into turn 11. No one close enough. There's a bit of contact there once again between Dom and Tech. Gareth, it is bumper cars at times coming through this middle sector, but everyone seems to make it out alive on lap number 3.
It was Bobbitt's mistake from him into turn 9, dived up the inside of Tech again, and it just wasn't to be. In the foreground there, I think there's a positional change, or attempt positional change between Bowman and in the background, surely not. Fake and Bourbon Boy battling away, as well as VK and Mulder. Deal up the inside is the fake TP again on Bourbon Boy, trying their best to get through, but it's just not to be on this occasion. I really do think we need to go on board with TTM Furious, because he's all over the back of Bowman. He's flying his car into every corner at the moment and trying to find one of which way to get past.
He is, Gareth, but I think NVR have got a great strategy at the moment. Obviously, Cabal is the fast driver at this stage in the Grand Prix. He's got 1.1 ahead of his teammate there. Liam, if he just back Furious into the rest of the pack here and get involved with Hops and Sam and the rest of the guys, Cabal can run away with it then, and Liam can try and hold P2. but he's struggling coming round turn 13 as a few of the drivers struggling with understeer coming into that corner. But Furious gets a good run off the front corner again, not close enough at the moment to make any moves on Liam in second place.
It's just agonisingly close, or agonisingly not long enough, this start straight, as a little bit file through, the fake TP nearly collects the back end of his teammate. That was not what you need to do in a Formula One race. It's the first thing you shouldn't be doing is taking your teammate out. In the background, AMS Knight and BK battling away, bit of contact between the two of them, but AMS Knight throwing his car up the inside into turn 3 and getting the move done.
Yeah, great move from him. I thought the tears in with the Ferrari in the wall on the inside, but luckily they're both through safe from the sand as VK. There's no rest for him, Gareth, because power loss is right on his gearbox as well. He's got a yellow flag. It looks like that's a Runker making a mistake at turn 8. Full front wing luckily on the car, but he's lost a heap of time now in 9 seconds behind the rest of the grid, moving back to Green Flag Racing. No safety cars at the moment, but if you look at the mini-map now, you can see the queue of cars forming behind Liam here. He's struggling a little bit in this intermediate weather.
Yeah, it's not ideal for the MVR man as they head down the start-finish straight, and I think TTM Furious has the run. He's gone defensive into turn 1, and is that contact, or was that just a really bad contact model? I'm not 100% sure, it didn't really show it, but there's not ideal, because that means Furious unable to get the move done.
Yeah, like he went into the, just behind the front left of Liam there, the back end stepped out. I don't think there was any malice in it, Gareth, but just a little mistake here. But Liam, you can see, guys, he's just missing the apex at 7 and just allows Fields straight back at him here. Struggling inside, late lunge there, down the inside from Furious, not close enough on this occasion, but it caused Liam to go wide. And Liam is struggling here, and the pressure is getting to him as they come down towards turn 11 here. I don't think he's close enough. Yellow flags in sector 2. I think that's Rapids making a mistake. Tech as well, dropping down the order, guys. A mistake through there somewhere. But it's 16th, 17th for him. He's dropping like a stone.
It's not great for the BRT team, as Thomas is really struggling through it all. And Liam Bowman again, just the back end steps a little bit at the entry of 14. He goes defensive as they go down the start-finish straight for lap 7 of 36 here, but Furious unable to do anything on this occasion. Really struggling to get the car turned in at turn 1 as well. Liam Bowman, it's that 2.2 seconds to him and his teammate Gabble. No darting up the inside from Furious, but Sierra Hops is getting close to this one now, and the 2 FRT drivers getting back within this. It's very, very tight for the battle for P2.
Absolutely. With FRT, they're both the teammates are quite close. As are TTM, Blackie is at 7. He's not too far back, but got a bit of time to close in on this front group. But like you say, Gareth, this is working out perfectly for Kabul. 2.5 sitting first and second, and Liam doing an excellent job. But he's doing what he needs to do, guys. He's doing nothing wrong. He is slower than Furious, but Furious just can't get by him at the right moment. He needs to nail the final corner so he can get a chance at taking Liam Bowman on lap 8 here. He's gonna have to go around the outside. He's gonna have to go around and do it the difficult way.
Yeah, I'm looking at it from a point of view of whether Liam Bowman has decided to go a little bit of a more dry setup because there's going to be, goodness me, and LaFurious, the mistake there coming from Liam Bowman, trying to play games, I think, going defensive and then back onto the racing line really quickly, and Furious nearly making the most of that there. He's unable to complete the overtake and has to sit behind Liam Bowman. But my point with the maybe a better straight line speed and a bit of a drier compound of a setup is that it could be going towards dry at some point in this race. But Furious unable to get the move done on Liam at the moment, and dropped back a little bit from Liam Bowman at the moment, and it's into the clutches of CRE Hops.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? And is another thing he's got to contend with. There's a board with the fight for P10 at the moment, guys. It's from Dom all the way down to Knight in 19th. He's not holding them up as such. They're just all ploughing ahead at their own pace. The Shizou team working together here, but not really progressing from where they were earlier on in the Grand Prix. He's headed back up with Furious there. I don't think he's just waiting out to make any moves on second place. We're going to head back down towards the fight for P10. A bit of movement in the background though. Looks like Fallen Boy and Amoda are fighting away.
There's plenty of action going on. There was something going through. I think Effect TP nearly getting a move on his teammate. Fastest lap change, and TRI Paulos has lost it at turn 1. The exit of turn 1, he is stationary, and Runka won't be last for much longer if he can get up to speed. But TTM Furious taking a tighter line through turn 7 than Liam Bioman just makes me think that TTM Furious is just a little bit more confident through this second sector. And in the background, Simbarock's trying to get past Hops as well. It is tight at the moment. No overtaking yet, but it's definitely tight.
Yeah, watch out for Sim here. Gareth can go up the inside through 10. No. Besides, teammate there. Sam hits the back of his teammate. That's not what they want at FRT. Drop that in a couple of tenths there. Luckily, crowding is nowhere near. But watch out for Sim as they come round the final corner here. Don't think he got the best entry to turn 13 there. That's cost him a little bit of time. Fears again not close enough. I think everyone is too spaced out there coming across the line, so no taking as of yet. But does the rain ease slightly? I think it might have, Gareth. The sun is starting to creep through the clouds, it looks like.
Yes. I think it's at that awkward point where the dries could do a job, and the inters aren't really there. I am loving the fact that the game is unable to properly render the Alpine just ahead unless you're really right on top of it, which is not ideal, Codemasters, if I doubt you're listening. And in the background, that's FRT Sam making a mistake at the exit of turn 7. We were waiting for a bit of action. He is now down to 8th place and costing FRT quite large with his mistake there.
DRS enabled as well, Gareth. It's time for dries, it looks like.
Which is odd, because, oh no, it stopped raining at this point in the track. It was raining at the early. So what? I mean, Liam Bowman is now 4 seconds behind. It might not have been a bad idea. Into the pits goes Gabor. Into the pits, surely everyone else. And double stacking. And, you know, that was a perfect opportunity, a perfect place for FRT Sam to make a mistake, because he was able to continue on. But Simrox decides to stay out, same as Bobbers and Mulder. They don't want to double stack, and they think it's wet enough to continue this.
Yeah, I thought we may have a safety car then, Gareth. Who was it? Bourbon Boy making a mistake coming out the final corner. New front wing for him, so he's costing himself a lot of time.
NVR Gabor, with that gap, has made a massive schoolboy error coming out of the pit lane. Not even before the corner, he's broken his front wing.
Oh no. Yeah, front right end plate's gone, isn't it? Oh, this could, well, maybe not race over, Gareth, but that's going to cost him a heap of time here. Obviously, Liam just gets past crowding in the background, both on the, what? They are on hard tyres. Both are on hard tyres. But Gabor, Gareth, that's going to cost him a heap of time. 3.2 splitting 6th and 7th. Keep an eye on that gap between Furious and Gabor.
See what the other drivers do. It is looking very dry out there. Purple in sector 2 for FRT Sam. Everyone else surely coming into the pits now. And you know what? Crowder might have an opportunity of winning this Grand Prix. Liam Bowman's going to be difficult to get through. It's odd to see a few people going mediums and a few people going halves. Mulder into the pits. Where do these guys come in? Simba Rocks one is going to be the one to watch, but here comes crowding as, it didn't for some reason changed camera angle, and they're battling side by side. Crowding and Sam holding, unable to hold on to making the move, and Crowding keeping the place for the time being.
Yeah, just about as quite intense between those both drivers, but Crowding doing well. He's on the harder component tyres compared to Sam, but Sim obviously stayed out for another lap, but he jumped up a couple of places now. He's up to the P3, so good job from him. I think staying out, I think he timed it just right, where he's a tad bit wet on circuit, and he's up into P3 on the medium as well, so he'll be quick in his first sector. As is Hops behind him, Hops loses the back end. Oh, the Strauss is going to be very proud there. Gareth almost loses the back end, loses 2 places. Sorry, loses 1 place to Liam Bowman, and Hops loses that place, but luckily still on circuit. But that was a very close moment there.
There was plenty going on, and I was trying to make sure that there was a move as BRT Crowding picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not ideal, as Mulder has got one as well. That's our first 2 penalties of the session. The TP picking up the fastest lap of the race. He's moved up a few places as well, up into 8th place. As I think this has gone a little bit of an interesting way. Some people were just able to handle the wetter conditions in dry tyres better than some other people.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. And you've seen it by a couple of jumps in the standings as Sim, fastest middle sector, but someone was taking it straight off him. But the gap between first and second was 3.2, 3.3. 2 laps ago, Gareth now is 2.1. So it shows how much. It shows how much that front wing damage is affecting Gabor. I appreciate they're on different tyres, but the gap shouldn't come down that quickly between first and second. But that damage obviously affecting our race leader. How long does he go for, Gareth? I mean, if he was in the medium, he would get picked and go to the end of the half, but he's already on a set half, so he want to go for another set. I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I don't really know what he's going to do here. As now we can see some DRS overtakes, Gareth, finally in this race. I don't think Furious is close enough. I say that though. No, I don't think he is necessarily very late from the TTM driver as a fake new fast lap of the race. But yeah, it's staying intense, isn't it, Gareth? There's 3 abreast coming through turn 1.
Yeah, and a little bit of a mistake, I think, there from FLT Sam, which has allowed a fake TP through, and BRT Crowding getting past as well. And poor Sam was just a sitting duck because, you quite rightly mentioned, it was DRS overtakes. But there still seems to be a little bit of a slippery surface out there, because some of these drivers are really struggling for grip. As Simbarox is now 1.4 seconds behind Gabriel. TTM Furious could very well win this Grand Prix because he's on those hard compounded tyres and he's just being brought along by Furious, Simbarox to attack Gabriel.
Rox is ahead of the trade, isn't he? And Liam trying to stay with it. Obviously, if he can stay involved with this fight, be a good haul of points for NVR in the race here at Zandvoort, but it's got to stay with these drivers. Again, Liam could be quicker in the dry go. I think maybe the wet conditions were what he struggled with, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, not within DRS just yet of our race leader, but those front 5 cars are really drawing Gabor in now, aren't they? You can see them in his rear view. They get larger and larger, lap by lap. Goes by as Rapids gets past Blackie coming through turn 1. There up into 9th for Rapids, Blackie up into 10th. Again, there's a couple of guys are hard just to figure out who's. Obviously, the guys in the leads are a bit quicker in the early stages of the Grand Prix, and again, they're struggling to overtake here. Obviously, off the line, it is still a little bit wet, it's still a bit greasy, so they are struggling at times to do some overtakes, and mainly it's been into turn 1.
Then Bowman goes off the track as Siri Hops gets the move done into turn 9. It was the exit of turn 8. I think Liam Bowman made a mistake. But here comes Simbarox as they head down into turn 11. And looking at Gabor, I don't think Gabor has much in the way to defend against this to come through turn 12. It's 6/10 of a second. Simba might wait for one more lap. It's 5/10 of a second, half a second pretty much. So come around the back turn 14, sorry. The DRS is open. Gabor did make a good inlay into that lead, but it's all nice and steady at the moment as Hops now are the fastest man on the track, and that fastest lap is going to go further and further, or quicker and quicker, while this track beds in.
Yeah, it's just it's more time being made then, isn't it? It's gone from a very green circuit to a very fast circuit very quickly, hasn't it? As the drivers just putting rubber down lap after lap, but again, you still see on the circuit that there's a funny lines off the racing line, and you've got to be careful not to dip into that too much, until the track is, until it's fully dried out here. But we'll see whether Simba Rocks can make way and get past Gabor on this lap. He's half a second now, and Gabor's going to struggle around these slow corners of 11 and 12. And this could be the opportunity for Simba Rocks to close in and make the move on the one second round. 12 or 13 to 16 time.
He is closer than he was last lap. It's 0.3 of a second, 0.4. It was about 2-3 more last time of asking. Round the final corner they go. DRS flies open for Simba Rocks. He goes to the inside. Does Furious try and follow him through? He thinks about it as they head into turn 1. Gabor's fighting it as much as he can, but I don't think it's going to happen on this occasion. He's going to hold the inside line as they run through turn 2 into turn 3. Gabor's still going to be there. He's going to have a difficulty turning because of that front end plate damage. Contact between the two of them, and Furious ghosted there, so I'm guessing he's gone for a clip as Hops is pretty much inside him, and Furious has to drop behind.
Yeah, I mean, Furious was on the curb, guy. He just didn't have the grip. The back was span up, and that caused a little bit of knocking with Gabor. Gabor entitled to defend that position. He was slightly in front as he up the inside goes Furious on Hops. Little bit of contact there. Not really an overtaking opportunity, and that's cost him serious time there. Just Hops up to P3 now, but Furious goes from second to fourth, and he'd be furious with all that as he was chasing down in all that. Gareth forgot that Sim was now in the lead of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, he's just, is it going to be enough? I think the DRS detection is not going to be, well, I don't think Gabor was able to get that. Let's look at it. He has got DRS, so he's going to have enough. So FRT team of Simba Rocks leading this Grand Prix. Going to have to do a little bit more work to get around that one. He really does want to build a little bit of a lead, Simba Rocks, so he can start looking after those medium compounded tyres. Thierry Hopso into third place is going to try attack Gabor at an inopportune moment for Gabor to catch him napping.
Yeah, and he's quickest in that first sector, as he come through 8 and 9. Again, we have seen moves into 11 at this but it's so difficult because 11 is such a tight corner. Trying to get 2 cars around is almost impossible, let alone 1 car in normal circumstances. But in the background you can see Liam just hanging on to the coattails of this front battle, and there's a bit of a gap then to FRT Sam in 7th place, but stay on board with Hops to come round the final 2 corners, for the 18th timer. Hops over the curb slightly, but it looks like Hops should make this move stick now. Up the inside he goes. Gabor does not defend, and Hops flies up the inside and takes 2nd place. And now he's got 1.2 seconds to Simba Rocks 1 in 1st place here at Zandvoort. Can he close down? Can Gabor defend? Can he push it back towards Liam maybe, and Liam can fly past Gabor? I don't know what their strategy is at the moment. It's been set up in the air for damage for Gabor.
So from it being almost a guaranteed win for NVR, they are now struggling because of the change in weather and the damage done to Gabor in the pit lane, and he is going to be absolutely frustrated with the situation. Thierry Hops has managed to catch it back up with Simba Rocks, though, as the lead for this Grand Prix is now back into a 6-man battle with FRT Sam just dropping outside for the time being, but Hops looking like a man on a mission.
Isn't he? Even how quickly he closed that gap with 1.2 at the start of the lap, and obviously he's cut that in half in less than a lap. Not close on this occasion, so we'll stay on board with him as he comes through this section of the Grand Prix. But look at the fate CB on the back of Furious here, but again, we're in a bit of a DRS train here, and almost breaks himself there, flies around almost the outside of Furious as Crowding and Rapids in the background are side by side. I think Crowding just about holding the position, squeezes out the Alpine in the background, but it's non-stop, Gareth. And you can see Gabor is in a bit of a roadblock here. Furious going to go around the outside, coming through 7, surely not. Gets squeezed to the outside, and Furious trying every single possible way to get past this McLaren coming through this middle sector, but to no avail at the moment, Gareth. He's trying every single possible way. Does he pop up the inside? No, he stays behind for now. But Furious, oh, the pun, Gareth, but he is getting very furious behind the ball.
Yeah, he's trying every book and every trick in the book. It's just not working at the moment. Mulder, for the time being, but unfortunately for him, he's far down the order. I think there's been a mistake by this man, Liam Bowman, because he's dropped behind FRT Sam, and he's not in that battle. It was a 6-way battle for the lead, but he's just dropped behind, and now has awful lot of work to do. Hops tries to have a look at Simba Rocks 1 as they go into turn 1, but it's not happening on this occasion. Liam Bowman getting past FRT Sam as they head through turn 1. He's made his position back into P6, but it's not ideal for the man in P6 as we go on board back to the front as Gabble is managing the problem right now.
I'd argue he's managed it really well, Gareth. He's still within 4/10 of Hops. He's still racing away hard with the top two. Again, he's not pushing for any overtakes, but holding his position well, and maybe he's just going to hold out. He knows his tyres will come back towards him compared to the medium runners around him. Probably thought obviously his Furious is also a competent tyre, but if he keeps his nose clean from here, doesn't get any penalties, well, you can see a Furious screen on all of them. He's dragging the car around like there's no tomorrow, and that's going to affect his tyres, and he's dropping back at times, and with Gabor in the DRS window of the car ahead, Furious just can't get by at the moment. It's more like Fake might get past him more than anything.
Yeah, let's have a look as Hops, I think, going up the inside of Simba Rocks 1 as they go into turn 1. Simba tries to switch back, but it doesn't happen on this occasion. And I think Fake TB is getting a little bit irate as Liam Bowman gets overtaken by FT Sam as well. But just Fake TB just looks, he's trying every way possible to get past, and surely not up the inside as they go through turn 7. This is an opportunistic move if he's going to get it done. Into turn 8, he's got the car up the inside. Well, he has to be given the room through turn 9 now. It's still side by side. He's got to go around the long way of turn 10, but I think he has given up on this occasion. He doesn't have the switchback ability either, and he is trying everything he can, but it's just not working at the moment.
Great racing there, guys. Side-by-side action between both drivers, both very respectful, both give each other room, and great side-by-side action coming through that middle sector. And you have to try again. Look how close he's to the back. Oh, Furious as they come round turn 14. Furious wants to attack the ball, but he can't. He's going to look at his rear mirror now. Fake right on his gearbox. Still no moves. Take that back. Hops move race like that. Missed that, huh?
That was on the lap before as Hops leading this Grand Prix. He's got one lap older tyres than Simba, and it won't count for too much. But Simba will be thinking about that in the back of his head as Bobbitt's trying to pull away from the TTM man backward just behind, as plenty of action happening all at once. 23 of 36 over 2/3 of this race, just nearly 2/3 of this race completed, I should say, as we are battling into this final third as CRE Hops leads the way. But is he going to win it? Is CRE going to win this one, or is it going to be anyone else? We'll find out very, very shortly. Ollie, but this battle for P1 from the top 5 is pretty intense right now.
It's non-stop, isn't it? I want to talk about the other drivers. It's a great fight for 9th, 10th and 11th happening as well, but you just have to stay on board with this lead, and that is Simba Rocks 1 taking
take the lead of the Grand Prix, and that's Gabor losing the place there. No, Fuel just can't get by him. Gabor, defense drive of a lifetime here, and still managing to hold the race somehow. I'm not going to get past the front two and win it, but defending well, still staying in position. And Furious just can't get by him, and Fake the same can't get by him. I don't know whether. Well, I'd argue because they're different teams, they're not going to make it by. But you'd argue to give Fake a go, see if he can get past Gabor in this lead battle.
Well, this is great stuff. It's what we want. 5 different teams in the top 5, all battling away for the win. It's exactly what we want to see here in Competitive Speed Series. Different drivers, different aspects through it all. And they're doing a very, very solid job right now. But you do wonder, you're right, if whether some of these drivers have got to start thinking, we've actually might have to work together to dispatch the car that's in front of us that's damaged. I think we're going to have a change of the lead of the Grand Prix again as Siri hops, getting past Simba Rocks 1 and into turn 1 around the outside. Furious tries to go again, and oh my goodness, that is the fake TP into the wall after Furious lost traction. That is not good for Shizu's chances.
No, that is going to be really difficult to recover from now, Gareth. Damage to the front right end plate of Fake, and it's a difficult one. Obviously, Furious lost the back end, and Fake was on his inside, and he had nowhere else to go, did he? And unfortunately, damage to that car, and that could be a race over for him and Liam trying to get by the slow car of Fake. And yeah, it looks like a pit stop needed for the Shizu driver.
It's not just the end plate, is it? It's more than the end plate. As Gabor could probably get along with it, but because it's more than just that end plate on fake TP car, that's got to be a pit. We'll have to wait and see if he does decide. But he is doing a good job of holding Rapids up for the rest of them, if that was his plan. Here comes Simba to take the lead of the Grand Prix as Furious has dropped on a little bit. Gabor's trying now. Gabor has got a bit between his teeth. I think he can. I think he has the feeling he can still win this Grand Prix.
I think so. Well, the medium runner's done 15 laps on those tyres, Gareth. They're going to be struggling sooner rather than later. Well, Gabor's on hard tyres. He's got plenty of lap left on those tyres. So why not? Why not go for it?
Furious has dropped back for the time being, maybe just to recompose himself after the incident just now. But Gabor is pushing, hops around. He's trying now around the outside at turn 10. He's definitely got the bit between his teeth, and he now loses traction. But I think he's got oh, this is going to be tight into turn 11. I think he thinks better of it in the end. Liam Bowman's found a little bit of pace. He's catching back up for these guys. I wonder if the medium runners are thinking, we'll go and get a set soft toward the end of the Grand Prix. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's their plan or if they're going to go to the end. But Simba holding station at the moment. They go defensive into turn 1, and CRE hops for the time being. Hold station. It's this little switchback available for Gabor as he's now battling away as he heads through turn 2 and into turn 3. Is it going to be enough? It's very, very close. I think Gabor might have this.
Great move around the other he goes, and Gabor takes second place off Hop struggling with medium tyres, and just put the car in the right place, guys. I thought, maybe he's going to lose traction. He's going to do it a couple of times to have the grip around the outside, and that's him up into second. Can he take the lead here? 710's got it really important here as Furious trying to get by Hops as well in the background. Can he go around the outside? He's got a little bit deep. I don't think he's going to make the move stick just yet, and the DRS open full Hops, so Furious just can't get by at the moment. But intense lap on lap 27, and this Furious, he just can't get by anyone, Gareth. He's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's just in the back end. He's struggling a little bit on these tyres, but he needs to just get into a rhythm here, Gareth. Otherwise, he's going to stay in fourth and gain no places here.
Yeah, maybe Hops has just had a momentary lack of, I don't know. He's now Furious is going around the outside of turn 1. He's got to be pushed to the limit as they enter turn 2. Hops still has the position for the time being. He's gone defensive into turn 3. He's got, Furious is trying to do what Gabo did last time around, but it's just not going to be enough, I don't think, as they head on through turn 4, 5 and 6. And Furious is desperate to keep his car in there.
So there you go, there's like a round turn 7, but again, just wasn't close enough on the inside of 7, and he's backed out. Probably a wise move from Furious there after some of the content he has had previously in this Grand Prix. Zarunga gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and I think he's retired from the Grand Prix, unfortunately, for him down in 90. Not the best race from him this evening. But Furious just can't get by. It's Gabor who's looking the closest to the Nova guy. 2 test splitting, first and second.
It's all a bit crazy as Liam Bowman, enter player 5, has joined in this as well. Liam Bowman is finding his feet again, and it could have been a case of what could have been for him had he still been in this battle, had he not made that mistake earlier at all. But there goes Gabo into the lead of this Grand Prix. Furious is unable to get through Hops, and that is Gabo back into the lead of this Grand Prix on lap 29 of 36.
Great. Well, I say that is not over though, guys. As Simba gets him back, I don't think Gabor's made a mistake. I didn't see what happened there, but Gabor's lost the time again. I don't know whether he went deep, it was contact, but losing 4 tenths on our race leader, and Hop going to attack the McLaren at this point, coming through turn 7, but he's already closed that gap back down to our race leader. Hop's looked at the inside, but again, not the right time to make a move through turn 9. And whoa, on the outside, Furious. Can he make this move stick this time? He's got the grip, Gareth. He's got the extra speed, and he's around the outside through 10. Finally makes that move stick. He's got the inside for 11. Goes a little bit deeper, makes that move stick. And Liam Bowman, like I said, enter player 5, is on the back of this train.
I really don't understand what Gabo did. It's like he broke far too early at turn 3 and allowed Simbarox the lead of this Grand Prix again. 3-second time penalty for Bobbers. As we see, Gabor tried to take the lead of this Grand Prix. In the background, Liam Bowman trying to force his way through Siri Hops, and he has exactly done that. Simbarox now down to 3rd place, but he's battling hard with Furious. He's desperate to keep a hold of the position for the time being, but a little bit of a wheel back end snake out there from Furious, but I think Simbarox has to concede this position.
Yeah, better grip on by Furious. He did lose it just on the exit of 3, but managed to get the power down through 4, 5 and 6, and he takes 2nd place now. Loses a little bit of time to Gabor, but there's still time to go. Still 6 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. And Gareth is not only enter player 5, not only 6, 7, 8 drivers now involved. I argue 9 drivers involved with this fight. No, 10 drivers involved. Oh, and the Bobbits now involved with the P1 fight.
It's crazy battling between Simbarox and Liam Bowman as they battle through. Liam Bowman, he's had a massive collision with Simbarox, and that's surely going to cause a safety car. That was a big moment. Simbarox is going to be fuming. Liam Bowman was pushed a little bit far off as Furious decides not to pit.
I think he may have got forced out of the pit there. Sam gets a 10-second speeding penalty. Oh, with so little time left. Sam, that could have been you on the podium. Oh dear, and that's cost him a lot of time there. And I think Furious is the only man to stay out, Gareth. Oh no, that is... Oh, Knight has just jumped up a heap of places there. He's playing the long game, isn't he? And he's up in the P5 now, from way back. Great. If you can see that, Gareth, that is fair play to him now. And I will hold my hands up, but he's got a lot of battling to do. But yeah, it looks like Paulos, Bourbon Boy, and Furious are the drivers to stay out in this Grand Prix, and we'll have 3 racing laps left of the race, I think. Gareth, maybe?
We'll have a minimum of 2.
Minimum of 2, okay.
But it could go in early. I'm not sure. It really does depend. Arunca will be kicking himself for retiring in the pits. You can really make a nuisance of yourself with all this.
Well, if you look at it, Knight is technically in P4 because I haven't got that 10-second penalty. I appreciate you got to defend that position as well. Zandvoort is difficult, is very difficult to overtake at. A great position for him. Furious. There's someone in the Furious pitting now. Why have you done that? Why have you done that? He's going to all the way back.
I think you're right. I think he got knocked out of the pit lane. So he wasn't
what he did.
able to actually go in. It will be an interesting rewatch that. Furious down to 13th place. Still points, but not ideal at all. Gabor leading the way. He hasn't changed his front wing. He's still got that damage to that right end plate. Hops in second place there. FRT Sam in third, but has massive penalty to his name.
Yeah. I think Gabor had no option but to ignore his front wing damage and had just changed tyres. He would have cost him too much time in the pit lane and would have dropped back with how close that front 10 were. He had no option. So Hops is right on his tail, as everyone obviously, because we're behind the safety car. But Hops got a full front wing. He'll have that advantage on fresh tyres as well. But obviously he needs to make the overtake as well. So it's gonna be a tricky restart for Gabor. Obviously not just yet. The safety car light is still on, and it looks like we'll have one more lap behind the safety car before we get racing once again. But Liam drops down to P8 now as well. He was in P5 with contact obviously with Simba Rocks, and I think that'll be a stewards inquiry later on this evening. Gareth with the contact there. But in fairness, it's been a clean race. We've only lost the two drivers, and Arunka again, Gareth. It seems a theme with that Haas team that they retire too early. We've seen Knight do it once or twice as well, and costing them points later on in the standings when he finished the Grand Prix.
Let's see if he can hold on to some good points here tonight. You just look at it. It's still any morning's game. NVR have a great chance. Liam Bowman now down to 8. He got held up in the pits for double stacking with his McLaren teammate. Cinder Rocks, our first main incident retiree. And we waited until lap 31 and we did get a safety car. I thought we might get away without having a safety car tonight, but it wasn't to be. Shazoo, Boberts is going to be annoyed at himself, crowding with penalties to his name, or to their name, I should say. And Sam, that 10 seconds, that's going to be probably out of the points for him. And you know what? I'm not sure where this is going to go. Let us know in the chat if it's going to be MVR Gabor, CRE Hops, FRT Sam, or AMS Knight, or even BRT Crowding or TTM Blackie. Any driver, really, who can take victory. Safety car is in this lap. We're going to have 3 laps of racing. Ollie, who do you think?
I'm going to stick with my pre-race prediction with MVR to win Gabor's at the front. But I'd love to see Knight do something. No pitting. Just balls to the wall and see what he can do.
Let's see when Gabor decides to push, put the feet on the metal pad that will go vroom vroom vroom. That is the incredible way to say how you're going to win this Grand Prix. He's going to keep it late though. He's going to go in. Now he's gone. FRT Sam is on the hunt. Same with Knight. I think Gabor's got the ideal takeaway there into turn 1. And Knight is having a move up FRT Sam into turn 1. Surely not. This is going to be absolutely insane if Knight can do something into Sam into turn 1 around the outside. BRT Crowding, and there's contact with Crowding. And TTM Placky. Knight's gone further down the order. And there goes TTM Placky surely to try and make a move. But Knight nearly had his name in lights there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact between Placky and Knight, and I think the tyres are making a real difference. Oh, there's a bit of contact there between Placky and Liam Bowman trying to go up the inside through 9, and Knight causing. Oh, look at that cars behind. It's 2-3 abreast in the background. Oh God, Knight has been. Oh no, he's in the wall. It's contact. I'm not sure who that was, but Knight in the wall. Oh, gutted for him. I'm not sure who that was, but there's no front wing on that Haas car. He's at the back of the grid.
Not ideal at all. Very, very crazy restart to this Grand Prix. Let's see. Anything at the front. A little bit of a weave there from Gabor. But here comes Liam Bowman up the inside of Crowding. He's got the move done on the BRT man, and we are back into first and fourth. But it will be a double podium as things stands. Knight is going to stand surely with that front wing damage, or is he just going to try and get the fastest lap of the race? We'll wait and see. There's plenty of action happening throughout all of it here as TTM Furious up into 11th at the moment.
Yeah, doing clawing his way back. The good thing about Furious is a few goes ahead of him with penalties. And there we go, there's another one with a penalty. Unfortunately, further down, yellow flagged, and that looks to be Mulder in the background making a mistake. And there's another car, Dom, making mistakes through turn 10 there. The drivers are really pushing it with a lap and a half to go. They're trying to gain any place they can. But Furious, if he can keep his nose clean here, guys, he could take a few of the drivers and jump up with how close it is with the penalties that are ahead of him.
Penultimate lap we have just about to complete. Currently, somehow, Gabor and Hops have stayed first and second through this from the starting position. Cops tries to go around the outside. It's just not meant to be as Gabor leads the way. Is there going to be a last-ditched effort into turn 3? I think he's going to throw it up there, but he just can't find a way at the moment. The banking left-hander has not helped Hops there. Hops has got to save a little bit. He could do something into turn 11 or out of the exit of the final corner. Mulder retires from the session as Hops tries to find any which way through, but it's just not happening at the moment.
Can't get by. The only real opportunity he's going to get Gareth as he makes a mistake through turn 8. There is coming down to turn 11, but he's nowhere near close enough. It's 4/10 between first and second, and there's a mistake from Mulder here. Gabor. I think that is race over.
And down into turn 11. It looks like a perfect way. Even with damage, Gabor has done something tonight. The imperfect way, I should say. But I say round turn 13 into 14. Here comes for the final time. I think Gabor's got this one in the bag. Hops is going to deploy everything as they come to the line, but it's not meant to be. It's Gabor that wins. Liam Bowman just to the line takes third place on track as well, as Hops was 0.085 behind, as that is the race over and done with in a flash. Unbelievable how quickly that one went down in the end. And wow, Gabor, damaged front wing. Let us know in the chat who you think driver of the day should be. The game's giving it to Knight, probably for just sticking it out. I think I'm not 100% sure. But
why Andy's got that? He finished at the back of the grid. I'm not sure how he's managed to get the game's given driver of the day.
Wow. Okay. Well, we wait for that to go through, and I press the button, so we didn't get the full celebrations there. But Gabor, Hops, and Liam Bowman, they started 1, 2, 3. They finished 1, 2, 3. In that order. Crowding did get fourth in the end, even with that 3-second time penalty. Rapids in fifth, Placky in sixth, seventh place to VK. Great points for him there. TPM Furious in the eighth in the end. The fake TP managing to get ninth after a torrid Grand Prix for him. Liam Hardman in 10th, 11th to Bobberts, 12th to Dom, 13th to Tiago Paulos, 14th to Bourbon Boy, and rounding out the point scoring positions, even though he finished fourth on track, is FRT Sam down in 15th place. Tech AMS Knight did technically finish this race as Mulder and Simba, Rox 1 and Aronka retired from this session. And breathe, I think. That is an end of a Grand Prix. A little bit reminiscent of a 5-lapper, unfortunately. But plenty of action throughout, even when we started in the wet weather, and plenty of action.
Yeah, as always with CSS, Gareth, it is non-stop a lot of the time. there were moments where it sort of dipped down. Early part of the rain, it was difficult to overtake, but the guys still managed to somehow do it, and it was great to see, especially when, excuse me, when it did get dry coming into turn one, it was non-stop, and even Gabor around the outside at turn 10, great move, as well as I think Furious made a move around turn 10 as well, so great move from those guys. But Furious will be kicking himself with that pit stop. I don't know what happened. Obviously, you could see he had to jump out at one point of not pitting, so interesting to see what happened there. But yeah, great racing as always. And I don't know whether we're going to drive the day or anything like that, but that was there was some great moves from a lot of people. Great racing as always, and yeah, I think I need the break after a week after that after this evening.
Yeah, it was a tough one to. For those guys tonight, interchangeable conditions. We got a safety car. We had pretty much it all. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have an interview. I don't think any of the drivers are going to come and say hello to us. But well, overall, I think again another entertaining race in CSS, and long may it continue.
Absolutely, yeah, it's been great, hasn't it? Obviously. Sometimes I feel, we don't need a break week. We'll just keep going and going and going to keep it exciting. But I'm sure my voice and obviously the drivers will enjoy a bit of a fallow week now, and we'll head back. Excuse me, racing next week. Next week now.
We'll have a quick look at the week after.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll have a week off to recover ourselves. But the Belgium Grand Prix is the first race we go to on our return, Spa-Francorchamps, for all our sessions. Then we go to Qatar at Lusail, and then Las Vegas for the second of the American tracks that we're going to have. Well, no one else had the Americas apart from us in CSS, so that was good. Then we've got another Mystery Grand Prix on the 21st of October. And then round 11, the Hungaroring, a true testament to skill at that one, very similar to Zandvoort on the 28th. And then we've round the season off in Suzuka. Ollie, how do you describe that one?
What, in one word, or can I write an essay?
With a 2,000 word max limit on it.
No limits.
No limit. Okay, we're going to be here all night, Gareth. I've got work in the morning. I'm sure the guys watching I've got work or school or whatever, so maybe not. I won't spiel off for too long. But yeah, it was non-stop, intense, frantic, hellish at times. As we had everything, didn't we? And we had almost the whole grid finishing, which is great to see. I think there are a few moments there that might be in the steward's box, but overall, Gareth, it's still another 8, 9 out of 10 race, and we've only had those. Yeah, we haven't had a boring race, and that's what's great about TSS. It is just the team's throwing it all at it, and obviously NVR coming out tops there this evening.
Yeah, some good racing, but we'll have to wait and see on the incident reports and the stewardship reports in 2 weeks. Thank you for everyone that has watched tonight. I think Ollie and I are going to make a move because there's no one coming to say hello. So thank you for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the Belgium Grand Prix. We pretty much had it all just north in Holland tonight, though. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.